What's up guys, it's NK, and today I'm gonna show you how to make a growl in FL Studio Mobile. Now this is actually pretty simple. It's not as complicated as you might think it is. There's not a lot of crazy automation, and in fact the only automation you will need to make the growl is just the filter, and that's pretty much the entire thing. This is the only thing you're gonna automate in this one. So to start off, we're gonna get GMS. And I'm just going to put the transpose to -12. And we're going to go over to oscillators. And for oscillator A, we're going to pick keys and then Fox for oscillator B. We're going to keep everything else the same in here. And we're going to go over to FM. I'm going to put this quite a bit up and the mode amount a bit up. I'm going to put the decay somewhere around here. Now, the reason why I'm automating the FM is we don't want the growl to sound static. And if it sounds static, it doesn't sound natural and not so human. It sounds robotic, which we don't really want on this type of growl. Anyway, this is how it sounds like. Turn this down. Now this pretty much already sounds like a growl, but we're gonna do a lot more processing to it. We're gonna put a note at F in here, and we're gonna start on by putting a bandpass filter at 24 dB an octave, and we're gonna automate this thing. That's pretty much the only thing that we're gonna automate, unless we want to automate more stuff to make it sound more natural. Anyway, on this shape I'm just gonna create whatever sounds good, or whatever shape I want to make it sound. Something like that, I don't know. I'm gonna cut this off right here. I don't want any of those tails, so I'm just gonna remove the release. I could probably go crazier, I don't know. Okay, it sounds good. Now, to bring up the highs, actually before we do that, I'm gonna add distortion so that we add even more harmonics and more stuff in the highs. You can choose any of them except for clipping, because it doesn't start off until you clip the signal. That's when it starts to do it, but on these ones it starts off basically when you go from one, and then yeah. It's just basically to bring out more frequencies, from the saturation. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add OTT, the FL Studio Mobile OTT, of course. I have a 0.5 version, a ×2, and a normal one. I think I'm gonna have to use 0.5 though, because it just is much quicker. We can also start off by adding a bit of bit crush. Actually, no, that might be a bad idea, because it masks out the rest of the highs that is naturally going to be brought up. It's going to be hard to explain, but basically just keep it 0 in this one. And then we can add another one. Maybe just put it on soft, something like that, really low. Basically doing nothing, but we just want a bit of this. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Now from here we've already brought up the highs. What we're gonna do to make it more interesting and sound more gnarly, deep, or something like that, is we're gonna use a phaser, which basically acts kind of like its formant. Basically formant is kind of like how small or big your sound sounds like. And I usually put it at around here. I just literally know where it is. Around here should be the point where it sounds good. Yeah, basically the phaser just acts as a format, which makes the growl sound deeper or sound smaller. So basically here's how it sounds like. That's smaller until bigger. But you also don't want to go too low, because it sounds odd. That's the point where I'd say that it sounds pretty decent. Okay, now I'm gonna do more processing. I'm gonna add a high pass filter, because we're gonna start adding a sub oscillator. Actually, before we do that, let's go add some more stuff that we can do to make it sound more bigger and sound more gnarly. For that, we can add a comb filter and turn off snap, so you can set it to however frequency we like. But I'm gonna turn the feedback quite a bit down, but not too much. Might as well adjust the asymmetrical or asim thingy to basically make it the comb filter sound a bit wider. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it makes it sound wider. And now we can add a reverb. And why are we adding a reverb? Basically just sounds that makes the highs sound more interesting, but we're using the reverb in a different way. Okay, so for now, for listening to how it sounds like, how we're only gonna listen to the wet. ER is basically early reflections, but I pretty much always keep it down because I don't like how it sounds like. This is how ER sounds like. Actually no, ER doesn't sound too bad, but what we're gonna do is gonna turn all of these down. Maybe we can keep the dampening off and we can listen to the wet signal. We only want a bit of like stereo or like wetness in the highs, but not too much in the mids, because if we start to introduce it in the mids, the growl will end up sounding muddy and not so tight. Okay, it sounds pretty decent. Not too sure what else we can add here. I think that's pretty much it for now. And now we're gonna add a sub oscillator, but before we do that, there's some stuff that we should do to give the sub oscillator some space. Might as well just add an analyzer now to have some eye candy for us. We're gonna add a high pass filter. I'm gonna set it to that. Turn the resonance up so it's more accurate. And now I'm gonna add another OTT just so it balances it out. I'm gonna use 0.5 again because 0.5 is pretty much just my favorite. Turning down the reverb because it sounds too loud. I'm not sure exactly how I can like make it sound different. Yeah, it sounds more like a growl to me now. We could also adjust the phase of this one to make it sound more unique, I guess. We're missing a bit of those combing that I like. Okay, I think this sounds pretty decent, but I might lower the high pass a bit lower. Oh, there seems to be some unnecessary frequencies here introduced by the bit crusher, which we don't really want. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add another filter, but this time it's gonna be a low pass. Should sound a bit better. Turn it down maybe to 14K. And should add a sub oscillator. For sub oscillators, I always use the Rex oscillator because it's just my favorite. I'm gonna pick in it, which basically is just a sine wave. And if we mute this, why the hell is mute not working? It's just a sine wave, and we can turn it down like right here. Oh, seems to be too loud. Make sure to balance everything out. Or boost the hell out of this thing. I'm gonna turn this up now. Turn it on. And we can mute this for now. It's actually pretty much mute. It just says minus 60 decibels. That's another FL Studio Mobile bug. There's a lot of stuff that FL Studio Mobile needs to be fixed on. Anyway, this one, I'm gonna add a distorted sine wave. Put it as the same frequency or something like that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it to low pass so we don't have any of those unnecessary high frequencies that I don't like. I'm gonna automate that because why not? No. How do you make it sound more gnarly? Probably adjust this one. Or this one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I can do this one. I might also add another one of these to just bit crush it. And I think it's the point that I start EQing to make it sound a bit cleaner. Cause we pretty much don't have anything else to do now. Another OTT. It's like all I do. It's basically, if I have nothing else to do, OTT. Wow, this sounds really tough. I might change it to a different preset. Yeah, let's go use this one. Sounds very natural. I might use this one. Actually, we can start EQing the mids. There's nothing else I can do to make it like more gnarly. So to make it sound more human, might just add a noise. Sounds bad. We can make this move more. If we literally have nothing else to do, we can add a notch filter, which we don't have that, so we're just gonna use this one and put it to 0, and we're gonna automate the frequency of this and make it sound more human using this one. Doesn't sound too good. I think what we need now is more EQing. To be honest, it's just a matter of pretty much adjusting it until it sounds good. To make it fatter, actually, what we can do is dispersion, which basically disperses the frequency mix. Basically, what we're gonna do is multiply the multiband compressor multiple times. Did I just understand what I'm trying to say? Anyway, okay, I'm trying to let's go find a good frequency that's gonna be good for dispersion. Sounds good enough for me. And let's go multiply this a couple times. Oh, that's all we needed. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna upload this project file into a Google Drive link so that you guys can download it and use the Growl itself and experiment with it. And pretty much, I think that's it onto this video. There's nothing much to add. I literally have nothing else to put out. But I'm gonna have some more tutorials in the future on how to make more stuff in FL Studio, like generic bro step basses, some of those stuff, you know, those generic FM bro step basses, because they're actually surprisingly easy, and I'll show them in the future how to make them. They might have to do a lot of modulations, which is gonna be bad because I don't think we really like automations because they're annoying. But that's all I have to show in this video. Hope this was very informative and helped you guys on how to sound design in FL Studio Mobile. And that's pretty much it.